Hey guys, this is carsonmtech here, back with another video, and do you notice anything strange? I don't know if you do, but this video is about a pop-up green screen. And so in this case, this is a pop-up green screen by the brand that is known as Neewer. And basically, if you know anything about photography, videography, gear, and stuff in general, they are a pretty popular brand name to pop up if you're searching for basically any type of gear. So in this case, they are trying to recreate or make a better version of the Elgato pop-up green screen. So that one, a lot of people know about. It is a little bit pricey, especially for the limited use case that I would be using it for. In this case, the green screen is quite a bit cheaper, and it won't make such a big dent in your wallet when you are paying for it. So I just want to say up front here that Neewer did send me this green screen for free, but they're by no means paying me to say anything in this video, so all opinions are my own. But anyways, in this video, I'm going to be unboxing it. It's pretty straightforward. Also, I'll be talking about its use cases and then also showing it being in use, including right now, and then also talk about its build quality, because I know that's something that I was considering and concerned about when Neewer asked if they could send me this out. So I'll be talking about that a little bit later in the video, but for right now, let's get right into the unboxing. Alright, so getting right on into the unboxing, there's not really too much here, honestly, but one thing that I just wanted to note is that this may not have been Neewer's issue, but the box is damaged, and I did already peek at this, and the actual green screen itself is damaged, so that's a little disappointing, but again, that's not necessarily Neewer's fault, but their packaging could be a little bit better. Anyways, so taking this on out. So there we go. Taking a look here at the unit now, as you can see in comparison to me, this is how large it is. It is, I do not remember the exact dimensions off the top of my head, but I'll be placing them on screen right now. But basically, it is a pretty decently sized screen. And it makes for carrying around pretty easy because it does have a handle here on top, which is nice. And then on the bottom, it has these feet that swivel out. So it makes for nice storage, but also they swivel out like that. So then when you put it up, you don't have to worry about this toppling over because it does go up pretty high. I do have to say, if there's one complaint that I've already had, is that I wish they made it that it got a little bit taller. I've not really been able to find any screens thus far that are pop-up screens like this that do get up taller, because if you're trying to use this for, like, say, a photo shoot or something, if you're taller than 6 feet, or your subject, or whatever it may be, this may not be working for you. But if you plan on doing something where you are my height, like 5'7", or you plan on just sitting, then this might be good for you. So let me just show you the functionality of using this. Here we are in a common scenario of how most people are likely going to be using this. I'm sitting in a chair in front of my desk, and really only the one thing that I have a complaint about with this is that considering it is not incredibly wide, it is kind of difficult to go and frame this so the outsides aren't showing, especially because of a reason that I want to talk about a little bit later. I don't want to talk about the build quality right now, but zooming on in, and also in order to keep a soft backlight, it is kind of difficult to find a sweet spot of where you want the screen to be, because if you place it right behind you, there will be harsh shadows, and that can be difficult sometimes to key out the color. It's not impossible, but it does make it a little bit more difficult than if there is a plain, you know, without these shadows of my hands right now on the green background. So that is one thing to keep in mind if you're getting this. You're going to want to make sure you have some good lighting in front of you and a good backdrop lighting, because that's really what saves you from the shadows, is if you have a dedicated light bouncing off the backdrop, which I do have a small one right now, but it's not super effective because I just don't have anything else to place there. So with that being said, I'm pretty pleased with it. The material of the screen itself is a anti-wrinkle material, so it makes for a very good backdrop. You're not going to have to worry about green screens like the ones that are just fold up and you hang them up and you got a bunch of wrinkles all over, or you don't have to worry about all the crazy equipment that you usually need in order to hang up the material. So just this being in such a compact package is great. So with that being said, let's get into the build quality. So getting to the build quality, honestly, in my opinion, I do think that for the price you're paying for it, it is a very good screen. You don't have to worry about other unnecessary equipment just to hang up a screen. You don't have to worry about wrinkled screen, because that's one thing to mention. The screen is made of that anti-wrinkled material. So compared to other screens out there, it is fantastic in that sense. The pop-up mechanism in the back, it's pretty interesting to watch if you're seeing it pop up. It does allow for it to stop at a not full height location. Not that you would necessarily need that, but say if you have a very short room or something for some reason and you don't want it to go all the way up, it can stop at different heights, but it's not necessarily meant to. So anyways, with that being said, the one complaint that is probably my biggest complaint here is the screen outside edges. So as I was mentioning earlier, there is an issue with it, and that issue is that the screen, it doesn't really have any reinforcements on the edges, so it causes the screen, it curls in. And I've only had this screen now for a week, and I haven't necessarily ever had it at this point where it hasn't had those curled edges, but I don't know how it's going to be, like, 6 months from now, a year from now. It could be curled in even more when I put it up later. So it is kind of a concern considering the width of the screen already isn't the largest. If those happen to curl in quite a bit, then you're losing screen real estate, and that kind of sucks. I feel like them being able to fix this would be super easy. All they'd have to do is put like a thicker strip of green screen material out on the outer edge, and I feel like that could possibly prevent the screen from curling in. But it still does right now, and that is kind of an issue, because if it does curl in all the way, I mean, theoretically you could lose like 12 inches, I would say at most, of your entire screen from both sides curling in. But I don't see it doing that much, but it could. One other thing that I have a slight annoyance with is the fact that when you're putting down the screen, it doesn't always perfectly align down at the bottom, and I don't expect this to be like perfect engineering or something, but it is kind of annoying. You usually have to use both hands to steer it down into place so it drops into the 2 slots that are in the bottom base. But I mean, that's not a super huge issue. It's kind of annoying to have that where it doesn't align all the time, because you don't want to be carrying this around with the screen not put into its base correctly, because I mean, that could cause the screen to like do something weird. I don't know, but you probably don't want to do that. So it is kind of annoying to have to guide it down into place sometimes. With that being said, that is pretty much all I have issues wise with the build quality of the screen. It is pretty great for what it is. The only, there's one small thing, and that is the fact that the latches on the casing aren't super reassuring. They feel pretty flimsy. I wish they would be more secure, or I could see them being more secure, because the way that they look when they're latched, it sometimes doesn't look like they are doing their thing. They just kind of look like they're sitting there and that they're not attached. So it isn't super reassuring when you're carrying this thing around, but I mean, it does do its job, so I'm just hoping they don't break or something. But anyways, that is pretty much it about what I can say about this thing. It is a green screen. There's not too much to say about it. It saves you a lot of time. It's great when you are in a small space, because you can throw it under your bed, you can throw it in a corner, prop it up. Really, it fits pretty much everywhere, and so leaves for a great situation. This, I would have to say, is a definite good investment if you use a green screen a lot. So anyways, that is pretty much all I can say about this green screen. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to let me know by clicking the thumbs up button down below. Also, make sure to share and comment down below, especially if you liked this video. And if you'd like to see future videos from me, consider clicking the subscribe button down below as well. And also, if you'd like to see my last video, that should be over there. And some random video should be down there. Anyways, that is it for this video. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.